Hey, what's up, you guys? Good to be back. It's good to be back once again. Now, before we get started, I'd like to say that Grace isn't my favorite female character in Resident Evil, but I adore her introduction to the series. My favorite female character is actually Sheva, but on to the topic at hand. From the moment we're introduced to Grace in the beginning, we're given a mission that immediately brings her back to the darkest times of her life, where she loses her mother and is a constant reminder of how she deems herself a failure, and everything being her fault. Not knowing that these set of events were almost guaranteed to happen, the thing about Grace's introduction is that she isn't instantly stamped with the "I'm useless" card, or even the "I'm a badass" card. It's that she's realistic and relatable, acting understandably mortified during the adventure. But where she still finds the courage to look out for others, she acts accordingly. Even if you don't feel the familiar essence of Resident Evil, I'm sure you'll feel the emotions this character felt. Her character is almost reminiscent to Leon when he first arrived to Raccoon City. His duty as an officer never left his mind, and the care and protection of those around him centered his character wholeheartedly. But we'll return back to this idea in just a moment. The way that Grace's gameplay is introduced is aligned with how Ethan Winters was introduced, only she didn't die in the process. Grace's style of gameplay highlights the horror that Resident Evil 7 decided to bring back to life in the most effective way. Not to mention, VR made it even scarier in Resident Evil 7.
Where is VR anyway?
But in this instance of Requiem, Grace is not only alone, but she knows how to get away just in time. One of my favorite skills that Grace is able to do is craft different items using blood with the help of her analytical skills from working with the FBI. She isn't someone that just knows what to do. She's someone with awareness strong enough that her observation skills go hand in hand with one another. But her strength as a Resident Evil character shines when she runs into Emily. Emily is a clone created by the connections in their pursuit to unlock Elpis. Blinded by human experimentation, she was found by Grace within the isolation ward of Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center. What's so special about the dynamic between these two is that their relationship didn't feel forced or rushed. It was a woman who saw a child in distress, and when Grace realized the child was blind, it was almost like her big sister abilities popped in, you know? She wasn't leaving without Emily, and thus her heroism shined immediately. It didn't matter if there was an enemy that was 10 foot tall and 3,000 pounds shuffling through the area, or that a chef with a huge blade casually walked across the area, or even that there were countless undead enemies at her heels. She knew that if she failed, Emily's life was at stake. One of her main motivators is to do whatever it takes to make up for the pain in the past. And that's why, when what happened to Emily happened, she gave up. Coming from someone with absolutely no idea of any combat specializations, I think her courage as an individual speaks mountains. Most female protagonists in Resident Evil were trained, heavily trained, but not Grace. But yet, Grace was still able to get a footing in this world and fight back with her head still intact, or hand. I'm looking at you, Ethan. And speaking of Ethan, I like how, between her and Ethan, her emotions towards events shines a little bit more. She's a wreck and all, but the stuff that's happening isn't solving her problem in any way, shape, or form. From her tripping and stumbling around the Requiem, actually hurting her hand when you shoot it, it shows a bit more personality and character towards her means to survival. But coming back to the similarities between Leon and Grace, I feel like the reason they mirrored one another in the game was because they shared the same inspiration on why they must live on: hope and duty to help others. I loved how Grace was introduced into the Resident Evil universe, but I can't wait to see how far she'll succeed in the future Resident Evil games. And I'm not gonna say what happened in the end, but I hope that she does get back out in the field. What do you guys think of Grace Ashcroft? Do you guys like her? Do you guys dislike her? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys give me a like or a dislike. It's to your liking as always. And hit your boy up with that subscribe because I need that. Peace.